Everyone, next is here. Alright, so I've got right in front of us here the Doro Phone Easy 610. Now this phone, you're probably asking, why would I do a phone like this? I mean, it's a basic phone, right? Well, here's the thing. A phone like this, you don't see a lot of videos. I haven't seen a lot of videos on YouTube. There's a few, but not too much. But there is a need for a phone like this, and I'll show you why in a second. This is a phone mainly catered for the basic user, or for someone who, wants something for, an elderly user, or maybe even for a young user. This phone is really suited to that. Now, to show you some of the features on the phone itself, if you look around, we'll see over here we've got like a volume up and down key, very basic stuff. Up here, of course, is a flip phone, and then right over there you just see there's a little stopper. That's not a button or anything, it's just a stopper for when you flip up. Then over here you've got your little charger, and you've got the earpiece jack over here. On the back, again, nothing fantastic. There's no camera on this or anything like that. You've got your speaker over here. And this is an emergency button that someone can hold if there's a problem, and it will beep loud. And even, I believe it's programmable. If not, the 612 is programmable, which is a new Doro that's out, but this one here has that. Now on the front here, again, keeping it very straightforward and easy. Again, no camera or anything like that, although the new Doro does have, this one doesn't. If you have a text message, you get a little warning light there. Low battery, warning light there. Again, simple, easy to use, keeps everything at your fingertips. Now, a couple things to note with the phone, actually even before I open that up. Interestingly, the phone has a processor that's called the MT6223D. Now, I'm going to tell you, I had to read that off of paper because there's no way I'd remember that. Interestingly, I can't find any spec on what that is. I'm estimating, based on some numbers I've seen from some other phones, it runs at about 100 megahertz, which is nothing on a phone these days. But then, it's a basic phone. It's not meant to run anything. I'll show you that in a second. There's not even a browser on here. Now, also, it's got about 32 gigs of RAM. Okay, but anything amazing. 128 meg memory. Again, enough for what you need, because you're not browsing, you're not storing stuff in here, you're not taking pictures, there's none of that stuff, right? Now, when you open up the phone, first thing you'll see, now, it's not showing right, the screen is quite bright. Let me let that focus in for a second. There you go. As you can see, it's on loud.
Anyways, as you can see, it harkens back to the phones of way back, like 10 years ago, Nokias and whatnot. Very basic menu, very easy, very structured. I'll show you all that in a second. It's got a 2-inch screen. Right, it runs across 2-inch screen, not very big at all. It is a standard flip. You've got your regular buttons, which are nice and big laid out. Again, great for kids, great for the elderly. Nice little phone. Of course, you got your call and your hang up button. You got your arrow keys, and of course, these keys over here correlate to right above. You got your menu. Let's just let that focus in for a second. There you go. Got your menu and your names. Now, when we go into the menu, again, you'll see when you look at this, there's nothing really different here. This all goes back to, reminds me of the days when I had my first Nokia, the 3320. You got your basic stuff, phone book, messages. By the way, messages, you can only store 200 messages in here. For the phone book, you can only store 100 individual contacts or 3 numbers a piece, so 300 maximum. So again, not a lot of storage, but it's not meant for that. Your call log you've got in here. You got basic things like an alarm. See, normally even this stuff, alarm, calendar, where these are individual features. On smartphones these days, you see this as stuff that's in a one menu. You can look up and it's in like a settings folder or a accessories folder. This is all part of the features, standard features of this phone. You got your calculator, you got an FM radio if you set up your headset inside, and then your settings and some games, and that's about it. Again, very basic, easy to use phone. One thing I do know and like about this, and it has done well, is it's sold very well with the elderly. It's not very heavy. It's about 119, 120 grams, and you can feel it. It's actually nice. It's not bad. I mean, you know what? I wouldn't own this. There's no question about it. I don't think any of my family would. I don't think so. But I can see a market for a phone like this because, you have your young teen who's going out. You want to have them have a phone, but you don't want to get them a smartphone and run up a huge $1,000 bill. Boom, here you go. You have an elderly person, they're out and about, they're still very active, but they don't want to have anything fancy, they don't want to accidentally hit that browser button and then end up with a $1,000 bill. Boom, here you go. So again, there's a market for a phone like this, and like I said, the new 612 came out. It does have a camera, the new 612, but again, it still keeps that kind of basic feel. It's a great phone overall. It's nothing fancy. Again, I wouldn't own it, but you know what? I could see in the market for it, and if you're looking for a phone, especially for a youth or for an elderly person, I highly recommend it because it does do what it needs to do. It's a good starting point, but it's only a starting point. All right? So this is Nexus with Team PG. Take care. Have a good one.